before he got to verse 49 and 50. See, I zeroed in on 49 and 50 last week because I wanted you to understand just the importance of us talking in darkness. But I want you to see the rest of this today, because it's going to help you to understand that there is some unique and there are some very important details about your words that are what's going to make the difference in your life. See, we've got to understand that when those details are put in place in the scriptures, he's trying to show us, look, I need you to pay attention to this detail right here, because this will change your outcome. If you don't pay attention to this detail, you get the same thing everybody else gets. But you're working for me, so you shouldn't be getting the same thing that everybody else gets. You should be getting my kingdom's results instead of the world's results. See, because truth be told, when you keep getting the same thing as the world gets, that means you're doing the same thing that the world does to get it. So if your money's not flowing right, your relationship's not right, whatever the thing is, children acting a fool, whatever it is, if you're getting the exact same results that the world's getting, then that means y'all must be doing the same thing. Because there is no way that you should be getting the same results. Now, you might be getting put in the same storm, but we got a storm shelter. We got a shelter from that. And that shelter is our words. That's why we got to know how to speak when it's dark and when it's stormy. You're not supposed to be saying the same thing that everybody else says when it gets dark and stormy. You're supposed to be saying what he tells you to say, so that it then changes the results of what you get. And then they're looking at you saying, well, how come your house didn't get tore down? And how come your family ain't tore up? And how come your money ain't funny? And how come all of this? When they start asking that question, that now gives you an open door to say, let me tell you about who I work for. let me tell you who's got me employed. And that's what I want you to see. Look at it. Look at John 12, beginning at verse 35. It says this. It says, then Jesus said unto them, yet a little while is the light with you. Walk while you have the light, lest darkness come upon you. For he that walketh in darkness knoweth not whither he goeth. While you have light, believe in the light, that you may be the children of light. These things spake Jesus, and departed, and did, what does that say? Hide himself from them. Watch this. But though he had done so many miracles before them, yet they believed not on him. That the saying of Isaiah the prophet might be fulfilled, which he spake, Lord, who hath believed our report? And to whom hath the arm of the Lord been revealed? Therefore they could not believe, because that Isaiah said again, he hath blinded their eyes and hardened their heart, that they should not see with their eyes, nor understand with their heart, and be converted, and I should heal them. You got to pay close attention to what that says. Yeah. That says he blinded their eyes, and he hardened their heart, that they should not see with their eyes, nor understand with their heart, and be converted, and I should heal them. He's saying there's a time and a season. So until that season's right, until the heart's right, I'm not fixing to let you just convert whenever you want to convert. You've got to understand that seasons actually set up the ground to be worked with. See, if it don't rain enough, the ground is going to be rock hard. If the ground's rock hard, then it's not going to be able to form around the seed the way that it needs to form once you plant it. So if it doesn't form around the seed right, if the pressure's not right, see, that's why you don't need to be trying to get rid of pressure all the time. Because a lot of times he's saying, I'm trying to use this pressure to break your shell, so that what's inside of you can actually be released. The problem is, you keep trying to get the pressure off you. And while you keep trying to get the pressure off you, he's saying, I got to keep you blind, because as long as you're blind and your heart's hardened, because you won't even take the pressure that I'm trying to bring to you, instead of just saying, Lord, let it happen, show me how to deal with it. You saying take it away, and he's saying, okay, if I take it away, you got to stay blind. So here's what I got to show you. Because he said, these things said Isaiah when he saw his glory and spake of him. Nevertheless, among the chief rulers, and this is crucial, also many believed on him. But because of the Pharisees, they did not confess him, lest they should be put out of the synagogue. For they love the praise of men more than the praise of God. Jesus cried and said, he that believeth on me, believeth not on me, but on him that sent me. And he that seeth me, seeth him that sent me. I am come a light into the world, that whosoever believeth on me should not abide in darkness. And if any man hear my words and believe not, I judge him not. For I came not to judge the world, but to save the world. He that rejecteth me and receiveth not my words hath one that judgeth him. The word that I have spoken, the same shall judge him in the last day. Now, in verse 49 and 50, I'm going to key in on something different than I keyed in on last week. All right? It says, for I have not spoken of myself, but the Father which sent me, he gave me a commandment, watch this, what I should say and what I should speak. And I know that his commandment is life everlasting. Whatsoever I speak, therefore, even as the Father said unto me, so I speak. So I want you to see that distinction. There's a distinction between what you say and what you speak. I needed you to understand that, because if you'll look back at verse 42, he says, nevertheless, among the chief rulers, also many believed on him, but because of the Pharisees, they did not what?
Confess it.
They didn't confess it. And remember what I showed you last week. We believe, therefore we speak. This is saying they believe, but they wouldn't confess. Here's why you stay in the dark sometimes. Because you're worried about how everybody around you is going to respond to you when you respond the way that he's telling you to respond, by speaking what he tells you to speak in the dark. So you won't say it because, well, they might think I'm crazy. Well, they might kick me out of their little circle. Kick me out. I don't care. Because if I say what he says for me to say, and it's going to give me the results that he's promised, then y'all stay in your circle you want to. I'm coming out. I ain't got no problem pulling a Diana Ross on you. I'm coming out.
Really?
I ain't staying. You can stay there if you want to. I have no problem confessing what I believe. Because when I confess what I believe, I got to get what I say. If I don't confess it, then I get what you get. I don't want what you got. You can keep your headache. You can keep your turmoil. You can keep your trouble. You can keep your lack. I don't want that. I'm going to believe and speak what I believe. That's my deal. Because I'm going to employ my words. That's what you got to understand about this. See, because look at verse 49. He says, I have not spoken of myself, but the Father which sent me. He gave me a commandment. See, here's what you got to understand. The dark time, the pressure time that you're dealing with, he sent you there. He says, I need this person right here to be right there. And once they get right there, okay, you're in position. Say this. No, say this. say this. That's all he's waiting on you. He's waiting on you to say exactly what he's given you to say at that precise moment. He says, if you'll just say this, if you'll just confess this, that you heard me say this in the dark, I'll turn the lights on.